talking with Ken Larking, City Manager of Danville. All About Danville is presented as a service of Wilkins & Company Realty. And we're going to shift our focus from River District to there's something happening out in Schoolfield. I don't know if you've heard about this.
You know, I pick it up here and there.
Big cranes out there.
That's right.
We're talking about the casino. You can't have a conversation today without mentioning the elephant in the room. All of this stuff that's been done with the River District has been remarkable. And sometimes, in order to even push it further, you need a catalyst. And enter the Virginia General Assembly, who in 2020 cleared a bill that allowed referenda in 4 Virginia cities. Unfortunately, these were cities that were economically impoverished, and that's a list that we've been far too accustomed to occupying in Danville. Not for long, but for now. And we held a vote, and we said yes to a casino, and lo and behold, we get probably the most recognizable casino company on the planet, Caesars, to commit to Danville, and commit they have. We're just sitting here 2 weeks away from a temporary casino opening, but while all that's going on, the groundwork is being laid for a $650 million project. Transformational is just one word, but again, what's happened in the River District is going to be happening soon in Schoolfield. And I can't wait to see what smarter minds than mine will come up with in terms of designing that area. It is an exciting time. It's a little scary probably at times, but this is big. I mean, everybody knows it, but I'll get you to state the obvious. This is huge.
It is huge, and it's obviously very exciting for a lot of people. I know that we've got a lot of people drive by just to see what's happening.
Yeah, just see. And there was no reason to drive by there for the last 20 years unless you have very specific, unless you knew somebody who lived over there. Yeah.
Yep.
It's amazing.
Well, and the story of that property actually goes back almost 8 years, 10 years. Mm-hmm. Or the IDA, the Industrial Development Authority, purchased the property hoping to put some kind of development there with, and maybe market it and see what happened. But it sat pretty idle for several years, and there were some questions. And then this opportunity came for the potential of having a casino. And City Council, in their wisdom, said, we're going to ask everybody who competed for the chance to be the operator in Danville. And we were the only city in Virginia to have people compete against each other in an open process like that. We're going to tell them they can choose either the White Mill or Schoolfield property, both owned by the Industrial Development Authority, both very important properties to the history of Danville and the people who live here. And everybody wanted to see something other than the blight that existed in both of them. So they said, okay, you can bid to be an operator. You got to submit one of these 2 sites. You can submit another site if you want, but we indicated to most that this is what we want.
The preference, yeah.
So when it all was said and done, Caesars was selected. They wanted Schoolfield, which was great, and they had the best bid overall. And really, you mentioned they're the most well-known casino company in the world. They are the largest in America, that's for sure, and they've got great brand recognition.
Sure.
So, the council liked the proposal. They liked everything about it, but they really liked the rewards program, the customer loyalty program, and the number of customers that are close by.
Yeah.
They figured that would have some staying power should things change in North Carolina or whatever,
Sure.
So they did a great job selecting them and said, you know what, we really want you to call it Caesars. And they agreed.
Put that Caesars name out there. We want that.
So that was pretty exciting. The other part about the fact that we did a competitive process is that, unlike some of the other places, we had bids that had people offering to give us upfront payments of significant amounts of money. So Caesar's bid had a $15 million upfront payment when the referendum passes.
Right.
Plus they paid $5 million for the property, which more than covered our cost of our purchase. And in addition, there are supplemental payments on top of what they're supposed to give us through general tax revenue that is estimated to be at about $12 million per year.
Right.
And if you put that into context,
these are huge numbers.
These are huge. And you look at our general fund budget, it had been around 130. And if you add up all the tax revenue from the casino, it's about $40 million almost.
If you could, when you could add an entity that brings in tax payments that are 25, 30% of your, that's game changing. I mean, there's no other word to describe that.
That's right.
And of course, quite frankly, I'll be honest, I did not think Schoolfield would ever be redeveloped. I mean, it had, of course, the good water and infrastructure there left over from the mill, but It was so isolated. It was around an area that had very few other businesses. I've gone months without driving through that area simply because I didn't have to. I mean, there's nothing there to attract me. And I thought, boy, unfortunately, that's going to be a nice visual reminder of what used to be, but not in a nice way. And the fact that we've got anything coming there, I think, is remarkable, much less a $650 million casino and resort.
Well, even if they never open their doors right now.
Oh, we've already come out ahead. This is all gravy from here on, yeah.
They've spent several millions of dollars. Yeah. The last report that I remember looking at, which was probably 4 months old, $7 million was what was spent on demolishing the foundations, the tunnels, the paving,
lots
the
of
concrete.
Old concrete down in there. Yeah,
the old finishing plant, all that stuff. So, if you think about it realistically, anytime we want to attract a business to our community, we have to provide an incentive. And they want a piece of property that's ready to go. They don't want to spend several millions of dollars just to get it to the point where they can actually
start building. Yeah.
So, you're right. The reality is that it was going to take something pretty unique in order to get that property redeveloped.
Yeah. Me and several friends just, would talk to ourselves and wonder, what could possibly go there? I mean, that's going to be something of comparable import, like Dan River. Now, big casino plops down in the middle of West Main. It's going to have a ripple effect, and we've already started planning on that. The Schoolfield Master Plan was unveiled last month, which covers the Schoolfield area. And for those of you not familiar, Schoolfield is the mill community that sprung up around the Schoolfield Mill, and it has all the trappings of your classic mill town. And there is an effort underway now, again, by people who are very good at this, and the drawings are very enticing, on how to best develop the neighborhood around here. And I like the fact that it does a little retail, does a little residential, does a little green space. It also looks at that entire corridor from West Main to the state line, which is not a long stretch of road, but it is significant. Caesars is going to be marketing to North Carolina folks, and that's 9 times out of 10 the way they're going to be coming in. So now all of a sudden we've got a new gateway to welcome people into our city. So we are putting a whole lot of brain power into what comes after the casino, and to try to have as much of that as possible in place before the first bet is made.
That's correct. That's going to be the welcome mat for a lot of people coming into Danville, and it'll be the part of Danville that they see. And so we want it to be as attractive as possible. And having a Schoolfield master plan done that kind of guides development, plus use the tools of government to sort of make it happen.
To spur, just like in the River District.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what the beauty of the Schoolfield master plan was, that in the River District, we had a River District master plan, a parking master plan, a design master plan, multiple different, I think 4 or 5 different plans.
Right.
That were all kind of separate and done over time. Well, in the Schoolfield plan, we said we're going to do it all at one time. We're going to cover all those bases. We're going to hire a great firm to do it and have a great process. And I went out to almost every public meeting, and I was just amazed at how many people would come out.
People were very interested in there's a whole lot of memories over in that corridor. A whole lot of people whose fathers, grandfathers, and they themselves worked at the mill, lived in the mill village, played at the old Schoolfield Rec Center. There's a whole lot of memories there, and they wanted input, and I think the city did a very good job of eliciting that input, and so everyone's going to have a little bit of ownership in what crops up around the casino. It's going to be pretty.
That's right, and our development agreement with Caesars actually calls for a certain percentage of the revenue generated to go toward implementing the aspects of the master plan. Of course, that'll just be part of what we spend down there to make things happen, but we really think that after everything's up and running, the full casino, the permanent facility is up and running, we'll have some really cool things in place. And on top of that, we've invested in our tourism program. So while they're here, we hope that they come see other things.
And their presentation to the State Lottery Board, Chris Albrecht, the general manager of Caesars Virginia here in Danville, was very purposeful, along with the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians, who's partnering with Caesars here. They were very purposeful about saying, yes, people are going to come to the casino, but they're going to have other things to do around here, and we're going to make sure they see the community. So even if they never stepped outside the casino, it's a benefit to us because of the tax revenue, but they're working hand in hand with Lisa Merriweather at Tourism, and if you're working with Lisa, it's going to be about tourism. She's going to get you out to see some of the other things here. So, yeah, this is a very purposeful effort here.
Yeah, we've got great things already in our community that people would be interested in seeing. And so we're going to promote those things, but we're also going to try to build new tourism assets so that when we have these, over 1 million visitors every year coming to our community.
That's just still mind-boggling, isn't it?
That's right. Some percentage of them will probably bring somebody with them, and maybe they're not gamblers. Maybe they don't want the casino life. They want to go check out what else is happening. So we want to give them lots of options. And the more they see these other options, the more they say, you know what, I like coming to Danville for the casino, but I also like coming to Danville or Pittsylvania County for this other thing that's going on. And so, it's a choice. It becomes a choice as a place to visit. And, of course, those tourism dollars are coming from the outside, which multiplies even faster in Danville.
That's the cleanest economic development in the world because you don't have to provide schools or things like that for them. They come spend their money and go back home. But if they want to stay here, though, we can do that, too. That's no problem.
Yeah.